got some exciting things starting to kind of happen. I smell good? Like what? Do you think I will plant at all today?
You? No. Sorry.
That is Orf. Not good. Good morning, it's Thursday, and today is going to be a random, I have no idea what kind of day it's going to be, because I think we're going to be back in the fields today. But first of all, I have to take a few lambs to a different packer this morning. I've got some exciting things starting to kind of happen, and I want to share it with you guys. Sorry, I'm on my laneway, I'm not on the road. Fear not. I'm doing a thing with a friend that you guys have met before, and I will fill you in once some more things are a little bit more solidified. But yeah, it's fun and it's exciting. It's nice to have something else in my brain that's not YouTube and not, well, it is farming, but it's just different, and very excited to share that news with you guys very soon. But yeah, so I'm going to do that first thing. It's about 6:30. I just want to load up this. I have 5 lambs that I'm taking. I'm not sure how the rest of the morning is going to go. I was wanting to wean those bottle babies, but I need to vaccinate them again. So I have to vaccinate the bottle babies before I wean them, and maybe I'll wean them tomorrow because I put in a new bag of milk replacer last night. I'm kind of a dum-dum. I had everything set up yesterday afternoon because I had to ship. I had 41 lambs ready again this week. It's crazy how uniform this group was. But anyways, and I had it all set up, and then me and Jess were gabbing and talking, and I wasn't really paying attention, and we tore it all down. So now I gotta put it all back up today. Silly me. Let's go see what the damage is. Is it gonna be good enough? Oh, it's good enough. All right. Okay, they're locked and loaded. I have to reset the base station for Mark. He's spraying and he's lost his GPS, so we have a base station in our shop. So I am going to, before I forget, I'm gonna run over there and do that, and then I'm on the road. Okay, now we're shut down. And then just press snip. Are you there? Are you good? Okay. Okay, I'm on the road now. Okay, bye. I like it when I can fix something. Literally just turn it on and turn it off again. I am back. So that was about a 2-hour, because I stopped and got a coffee, of course. I'm just backing up. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I turn on the camera right when I'm about to try to back up. I'm just gonna run in. I'm gonna unhook my trailer and run in, grab a bite, and then meet Carissa and get on with this day. And then, oh, and I have to show you my garden. Stuff's growing, actually.
doing?
Well, the good news is I'm out of a hoodie before noon, and we live in Canada. This is a big deal. Of course, it is the end of May. It should happen. All right, I wanted to give you guys an update on the garden. The maybe over-ambitious garden. All right, we finished planting it last night. Did we get everything? Yeah, we have everything. We planted our sweet corn last night. We planted our squash, our green beans, yellow beans, pumpkins, zucchini, and cucumbers. So it's pretty cool, but I want to show you the stuff that's already growing. This is exciting for me because everything that I try to do typically takes, it's not that I fail, it just takes me a few times to succeed. Okay, the one thing that we are really good at growing are weeds, like top-notch growing weeds. This is our lettuce, and yes, there's a lot. Okay, why did we grow such a big garden? We have Mark's brother and his family of 4 and Mark's mom are going to share out of this garden, so it will be feeding 8, 9, 10 people. So that's our lettuce. Here's our onions that are coming up. Can you see? I believe our potatoes are close. These are our potatoes. Now our carrots are being really overrun by weeds, so we will see. We're gonna leave it and see what happens. There is a green haze in the 3 rows, but yeah, I'm not sure about the carrots, but look at our peas. Look at our cute little twin row peas. So some were obviously planted in dry soil, so they're not, you know, the greatest emergence, but I can see them. Look at how cute they are. Hello, little peas. So we do have progress. I just thought I'd give you guys an update. A lot of people are asking how it's going. It's going. Jack, I think it's Jack. No, it's Mark, is filling up with some urea to put on edible bean fields? I'm not really sure. Where's this going?
Huh?
Where is this going?
Grandma's.
Edible beans.
What's that?
Where we're putting edible beans?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll just come for you.
You smell really good. I smell good? Like what?
I don't know, you smell really good.
Haven't done much today in the terms of work. So Jess is running the Joker for the first time.
And it's been a hot mess.
How so?
I'm
Getting...
good at turning one way, I'm not good at turning the other way, and so it's just been like, I fixed most of it, but it's all like...
The light bulb ends?
Yeah.
You're your mother's daughter, because I'm terrible at it too.
I don't do the light bulb, you don't have to here.
I know, yeah, because you're on a diagonal too.
Angle, but because it's on an angle, it's like...
Once you go up and down...
It's just, one way is a lot easier than the other way, and then I just like... And then my auto steer wasn't like clicking into the right line, so I was like, oh, just forget it.
So Jack has done this field already. We're doing it again. What we're trying to do is break down the corn stalks because the edible beans are going in this field, and the soil has to be quite particular to get a good seed to soil contact. So we left this kind of no-till all winter. So we're just trying to fix, and the corn stalks did not break down over the winter, and I think it's just because we didn't have a lot of snow and a lot of cold, and that does
Frost.
a lot of frost that helps with breaking down these corn stalks. Yeah. So who's at the bar? Oh, Carissa.
Your girl.
Yeah. I just assumed she was done that. So yeah, so Jess is running this diagonally. It's been run diagonally. We're basically making an X. So Jack went this way, Jess is going this way, and then we're gonna go up and down, and hopefully that'll break down the corn stalks. But I brought her lunch.
I'm hungry.
This is my roll now. I'm kicked out of
That's so frustrating.
the seat. We'll fix it later. All right, so I'll feed you, and then I'll go see how Dad's making it.
You want off?
Do I want off? Well, I guess I'll do your headlands. All right, so she still needs me.
Still need. Poor tractor. Oh my god. I'm just giving it her all. Okay, now she's good.
Doing Jess's headlands because she doesn't want to steer.
Well, I've never done headlamps before. No one's really taught
I haven't done headlands with this either. But
We're doing
I'm getting an arm workout.
Yeah, is that
At
right?
least I can say I did something today. Yeah, the headlands are not done. Well, I'm not steering now. So the first pass around the headland, I actually have to draw it out for my GPS, my egg leader. And it's called a smart path. So as soon as I do the first one, it remembers it. It draws it basically on my monitor. And then every pass after that, as soon as I press auto, it remembers and it follows the curves and everything. But on all the corners, I do have to, I just have to slow down here. On all the corners, I do have to stop, back up, and make a straight corner. But this field's kind of bendy, so there's how many corners? Pure corners, I think there's three pure corners, and the rest are more of a curve, which is kind of nice. So I'll show you, I'll put the camera on this so you can see what it's doing. So the tractor is following that curve. So I put this first one in by hand, like I actually steered the tractor, and then the second, third, and fourth one is being run automatic by the auto steer. So it's called a smart path. So I'm not driving. Bushes are looking nice, the leaves are starting to come out. It's just a really nice day. It's nice to have these days. Do you think I will plant at all today?
You? No. Sorry.
I was,
Sad face.
yeah, I was kind of hoping to plant.
Well, every time you plant,
Finish that sentence.
it turns out different.
What do you mean? I planted soybeans and wheat last year and they turned out good. Except for that one farm because I had that plug. It wasn't entirely my fault.
I had nothing to say.
Hey, that dust devil was clockwise.
No. Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was. Doesn't clockwise mean rain?
I don't know.
Dust devils, clockwise rain or counterclockwise?
It's
Comment below. So, are you out of seed? Or is it because I'm here? Boys are just filling up the seed drill. Right there. Of course, I only went on the drill for about a half a round and he ran out of seed. I think we have enough hands on deck today. He does not need me to help him, but I have a funny feeling I'll be taking over for Jess when she has to go do chores. So I think what I'm going to do right now is revaccinate those bottle babies because I want to wean them tomorrow afternoon or Saturday morning. I forgot to communicate with Carissa this morning not to fill the machine. So I kind of want it to run empty before this next group because I want to clean it out. I like to clean it out really good between each group, and these next ones are due here to lamb in like 3 weeks or so. So what I'm also going to do when I wean those lambs this time, I usually leave them in this barn, but I think what I'm going to do, because I have that side cleaned out, I'm going to take them in the trailer and take them across the road and get them started in the nice clean barn across the road. So that's all going to take place in the next couple days, but I will keep you posted on that. So the tools I'm going to need for vaccinating, you've seen me do this before, but if you're new to the channel, I will be giving them, this is an antitoxin, so it's just to protect them from clostridial diseases. A few videos ago, I did a vaccination schedule, and the bottle babies are kind of separate and special because they don't get as much protection from their mum because they don't stay on their mum very long to get all that protection. So I give them a vaccine when they first start their creep, so around 14 days, and then I give the second one right before I'm going to wean them because, again, it's going to be a big stress change in the diet, and I don't want them to gorge on feed. So that's been kind of my little program, and it's been working. This particular one is a 5 ml dose, and I think I just have enough to get these lambs done. And then also what I'm going to use is my Gallagher and just make sure I have them all in the system. And then I'm going to put a little squirt of paint on their bums so I know that they are done. And I think I used red before, so I'm going to use a different color. "37 bottle babies, vaccinated for the second time, so they are ready to get weaned." And I go cold turkey with this machine. I just find it works the best, especially when you have just one group. They've been drinking water, they've been eating lots of creep, they've been eating hay, so they are good to go. Okay, in my last video, I talked a little bit about Orf, and I knew I should have explained it when I talked about it. The way I've been kind of had it described to me is kind of like a chickenpox. So it's a virus that will go through them, and they're like blisters, cold sores, if you will. But I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so this one has Orf beside Ruby. Buddy, lift up your mouth. See, that is Orf. Not good. It's the worst one out of all of them, but it might have had it the longest. So a little spot there and a spot here. Now this looks a little worse. I think she's been rubbing it, but that's pretty nasty. Okay, the scoop with those two lambs, these twins, is I noticed there's been always one lamb in this pen that's been a stealer, going from ewe to ewe to ewe. And it's been that one. So now the problem is that Orf can transfer onto a ewe's udder if they aren't already immune to it. Because once they've had Orf, they typically don't get it again. So I've had Orf in this barn. It came in this barn after I had it across the road. Just once it's in your flock and you bring in replacements, they should be inoculated somewhat, but I'm wondering as they have babies and grandbabies, I'm wondering if that immunity just gets less and less. And I believe there's not really a vaccine made, commercial vaccine. I think if you're going to try to treat Orf, I think you actually have to get a vaccine made specifically for your flock. If I'm totally might be wrong, but I believe they have to take little scrapings and make their own vaccine. So this is the only one I've seen so far, and I noticed it the other day. And it's nasty, and if it is a stealer, now I've got to watch ewes because this little monkey can actually go from udder to udder, and if it's really biting or doing anything, it can actually pass that. If it breaks the skin, I think it can pass that to another ewe. Orf will last, usually I see it for 2 to 4 weeks kind of thing, and then I even at that, Orf is transferable to me, so there will be no touching of these animals for a few weeks, even after you notice them cleared up and dried up. So I kind of look at it kind of like ringworm, that kind of virus. It kind of has to go through them and then they're okay. But there's a few people that struggle with it. Mine is very seasonal. I'll go through 2 or 3 lambing groups without a sign of it, and then all of a sudden I've got another flare up. So I'm just going to take a quick look right now and just see if I can see any others. This one's got a little spot just showing on its bottom lip, so it might be just starting to go through. Yep, that one's got one. See, but it's got a dirty head. So it's another steeler. See that little spot right there? That's Orf, just starting. So these little steelers, now whether there's a ewe that has one and that's how they're transferring it, that is really a good question. They might just also just be getting it from each other, but the more I look, the more I see. Rusty, do you have any? No, you're perfect. You're perfect. Yeah. Something else happened tonight while we were all in the fields. Something got dropped off. Which means tomorrow I get my chimneys. And this nightmare of a barn situation will hopefully be over. I'm just going to show you what they've done in the last couple of days. Look at that sunset. Okay guys, so all week the guys were here. Well, not all week, a couple days this week. And you can see where the seam is right there. So they've tightened this whole side, this whole end of the tarp. They've tightened it, you can tell, because those bars are really, really predominant now. And before I had about that much overhang because they needed the excess to stretch, and then it was all cabled down every so often. So they have trimmed it off. They stretched it, trimmed it off, and they've added the drip edge here, which makes it, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal to you guys, but what happens is when that drip edge isn't there, it curls in, and that's when all the rain gets inside. Whether the curtains are up or down, I do get moisture inside the barn. So that makes it, that little rain edge, drip edge does an amazing job. Oh gosh, that's so pretty. Tomorrow they'll be coming and just finishing all the chimneys. So there'll be a chimney in between each purlin here. So I'm very, very, very excited. But look at that sunset. Gorgeous. So pretty.